Remember Arundhati Roy? Remember Karan Thapar? They don't have much now, so they got together for an interview. What happened next was a delicious meltdown. Hi and welcome to TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Piyush, and if you haven't subscribed to TFI English yet, hit the subscribe button and also click on the bell icon to receive all the recent updates. Coming back to the story, I will talk about the Booker Prize awardee Arundhati Roy's rant in an interview with The Wire's Karan Thapar. Let's begin. Since 2014, the crisis within India's liberal ecosystem has resulted in the marginalization of the far-left activists, while non-extremist liberals maintain a decaying hold over some sections of the national narrative. Therefore, while the voice of liberals is often heard on social media and electronic media, the opinions of the far-left pro-Balkanization activists often end up on deaf ears. Far-left liberals are either in jail for their support towards Naxals, or the ones that remain out satiate themselves by giving out time-killing interviews on propaganda portals like The Wire. This is what happened to Arundhati Roy, whose Booker Prize has only been able to take her to The Wire's office for an hour-long interview with an irrelevant journalist, Karan Thapar. Both these individuals have a lot of idle time, and therefore it makes sense for both of them to spend it talking to each other. So, with a serious face on his look and a sense of conviction that India is being destroyed by the Modi government, Karan Thapar chose to ask the most difficult questions of Arundhati Roy. In an alliterated line, Thapar asked, amidst the confusion, chaos and cacophony of Indian politics, what sort of country are we becoming? Arundhati Roy, who predicted Balkanization of India during the interview, said Hindu nationalism could break India into little pieces, as has happened earlier with Yugoslavia and Russia. Almost as if convincing herself that her fantasy will be stopped in its heel, Roy added that the Indian people will resist what she called Narendra Modi and the BJP's fascism. Roy also copied the infamous Signs of Fascism script from Google and read it out during the interview. Karan Thapar decisively agreed as the points were being read out. He was astonished. Arundhati Roy had a lot of questions. She asked, what have we done to the democracy? What have we turned it into? What happens when it has been hollowed out and emptied of meaning? What happens when each of its institutions has metastasized into something dangerous? Then she went on to claim, over the last 5 years, India has distinguished itself as a lynching nation. Muslims and Dalits have been publicly flogged and beaten to death by vigilante Hindu mobs in broad daylight, and the lynching videos then gleefully uploaded to YouTube. Arundhati Roy, who is an open supporter of Kashmir's secession from India, told Karan Thapar, why should they want to be a part of India? For what earthly reason? If freedom is what they want, freedom is what they should have. According to Roy, India should be afraid of Kashmir because, according to her, Kashmir may not defeat India, but it will consume India. Arundhati Roy also lamented how activists, lawyers and academicians are supposedly languishing behind bars, while saffron-laden individuals like Yati Narasimhanand, who allegedly called for violence against Muslims, roam around freely on bail. She forgot to mention that while the participants of the controversial event at Haridwar are accused of calling for violence, far-left radicals currently in prison are actually there for orchestrating the violence against the Indian state in cahoots with Naxals. Roy compared the impact of Hindu nationalism in India with an attempt to squeeze an ocean into the Bisleri bottle. She said, the infrastructure of fascism is staring at us in the face, and yet we hesitate to call it by its name. Roy claimed that institutions like judiciary, intelligence agencies, media and parliament have all become puppets in the hands of the Modi government. She made it a point to start the interview with a jibe at Gujaratis. She said, 4 Gujaratis are running India, 2 are selling it, while 2 are buying it. Arundhati's mind has visibly begun decaying. From once being a famed author who was accustomed to setting the narrative against India, she has today become a person forced to do never-ending interviews with the likes of Karan Thapar, who himself has become much of an outcast within the media fraternity. It is for this reason that Arundhati Roy began a rant with Thapar against the Modi government. Eventually, it became a forum for her to attack India and its culture itself, and Thapar was more than willing to indulge.